My name is Aisha Brown, but you know me as Foxy Firestorm. I've been playing roller derby for 6.5 years. A friend of mine, actually a really close friend of mine, was tending bar here locally in Santa Cruz, and she saw a flyer for the sport. And she said, "Hey, check this out, you gotta come do this thing." And I looked at the flyer and I was like, "What is this? This looks weird." No. But she knew that I could skate, and so she asked me to help her with a couple of things like crossovers and whatever. And so we went to the Palladium and went skating, and I watched her over a period of time. I watched her skill set improve. She made these amazing female friends, really powerful women, and she used to brag about them all the time, and I was kind of jealous, but just kind of like on the side watching. And she got to be a really great skater. So over the course of about a year, I watched this happen, and then I went to my first bout. And as soon as I saw it, it was at the Palladium, or I'm sorry, at the Civic Center, and I don't remember who the opponent was. I want to say maybe it was Reading, and maybe it was like an Angry Beavers bout or something super ridiculous, but I saw it and I knew instantly that it was for me. Initially, it's sort of terrifying. Every single time I go out, the whistle blows, and I feel like, what am I doing out here? So I try to focus on being close to my teammates, and the whistle blows, and then the jammers immediately start coming up. The position I play is blocker, so usually I'm just trying to stay in front of the blocker and hit her out and knock her down. There's a lot of things about roller derby that are really special. The first thing I'd have to say is the kinship with my teammates and the other women. I think that working with a group of girls towards a common goal has been something that's been really powerful for me in my experience with the sport. I've made a lot of really cool friends and met women from all different walks of life that I don't think I normally would have met or hung out with in this way. One of the things that I really love about the sport is it's one of the few sports that really values all different types of women's bodies, which I think is amazing. You can be really small and play roller derby, you can be really big and play roller derby, you can have muscles, you can be slight. It's not about that, it's not having to make you fit into a certain mold. And I think that's really great. There's a lot of weird body image stuff that comes up with sports in general, and a lot of unhealthy habits that come from playing a lot of sports, and dietary stuff and anorexia and just image stuff. And one of the things that I love about the sport is it really celebrates women's bodies in all its shapes and sizes. Roller derby has changed who I am as a person immensely. When I first started skating, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was not working and outside of my house, and I was nervous and riddled with anxiety and full of fear just in general. I had all sorts of self-doubt and confidence issues in general. But I love to roller skate, and I had a few friends, but not as many as I have now. So roller derby helps me to become a more confident individual for sure. I love my body now more in a way that I've never loved my body before. I mean, back when I was 21 and technically perfect, and here I am at 35 and having had 2 kids later, and I feel so powerful and so strong, and that's because of roller derby. I feel just generally more confident as a woman and as a person because of the sport. I'd say dancing with the team after we won our first tournament in Kalamazoo, Michigan, to go to the Division II tournaments last year was a really big deal. And I'll never forget the song that was playing and the kinship that we felt. Having the confetti come down right after the game and they handed us our gold medals, that was surreal. My daughter's name is Maya, and she skates under the derby name Cerberus. She just started skating junior derby this year. She has been watching me skate for the entirety of my career and actually wanted to play derby a long time ago, the junior derby program used to allow skaters at 8, and then they raised the age right before she turned 8, or right when she turned 8 to 10, so she had to wait an extra 2 years. So she's been patiently waiting. It's been some very proud moments watching her skate for sure. I've done my best to try to separate my experience from hers and not pressure her in any way. I really want her to have fun and not have an expectation that she has to be like me, or even if she doesn't care for it as much as I do, that she has to continue doing it. I want her to play sports, I want her to be active, and I feel like, especially at this time in her life, being in starting middle school and all of the changes that are coming up with puberty and all that stuff, that being surrounded by the women that play the sport and this positive body image and just really strong female influences will be good for her. And it's just a nice way to make friends and have friends and be kind of yourself. The community allows you to express yourself in whatever way you feel is comfortable with your style, as well as how you are physically in the world. And I think that's so important for young girls. So that's that's a little bit about Maya. I feel honored to be a role model for sure. It feels weird and bizarre, but at the same time, it feels like a burden that you want to hold yourself up for. Like, I feel like I'm more inspired to behave on the track in a way that I feel my daughter would be proud, or some other little girl would be proud. So I carry myself that way when I travel and when I skate, and I try not to behave in a manner that would bring shame upon the league, or that I wouldn't want to see any other young girl behaving that way. As far as role models that I've gotten from roller derby, when I first started skating, there were a lot of girls who did a lot of watching derby online, and it took me a while to get into that, and so I didn't have that whole derby fame stardom thing where you had like superstar crushes on people. I just really formed really strong bonds with the women that I skated with. I feel a weird combination of sad and relieved now that I've just retired. I feel very nostalgic. I feel mostly just so grateful to have had this opportunity, and I've been going back and viewing little snapshots in my mind of this moment and that moment and replaying it back and going, that was my life, like I did this. I feel sad, I feel tired. I've been skating for a long time and my body's beat up now, and I'm really also looking forward to just being more available for my family. It's a huge time commitment, and especially at the level that I skated at, and so I spent a lot of time away from my kids and didn't get to cook a lot of dinners or tuck in a lot. So it'll be nice to be able to do those tuck-ins and read those stories. So it's a combination.